Oh, that was nice.
Precision and control.
He didn't know what hit him. Hello YouTube, welcome to today's video. Sojourn self-watch review number 19, I guess it is. I can count, don't mind me. This time the game's actually loaded fine, which is perfect. So let's go right into it. We have bought a new mouse, this one, SHK Pro 4K, with a 4K dongle wireless mini mouse. Just for comparison, this is my Razer Viper Ultimate, which I used to play on before. So quite the big mouse compared to the new one. And that's the mouse we tested last yesterday, and that was also the topic for a watch review, that we failed our railguns. We found out that actually there was a problem because I had Epic Pen running, which kind of introduced a lot of lags, and then I lost mouse signals and stuff, so it was horrible. Horrible, I tell ya. But that's just how it is sometimes. So we actually just tried to focus on, just tracking with our primary fire and then switching to railgun fire. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But that's how it should be. You just focus on a topic and then you notice how good you do it, and then you hope your brain adapts to do it a little bit better the next time. We skip 2 times. We start here very aggressive, and we also want to play very aggressive in this game, so don't wonder about my positioning. So we completely skipped the play safe with the team part. We just went, go to give myself to aim. But the thing is, I still want to have like the minimum carry potential position. The reasons yesterday I really failed every single one-on-one. I completely couldn't carry whatsoever, but I really wanted to try, and that's why I decided to train carrying. It went like disastrous. I lost many games before that, but it's fine. That's what I wanted. That's what I got. Kind of perfect. Okay. So with that said, let's see how it actually played out. Yep. So we started very aggressive, we kite here back. I think this is somewhat okay, because I went to the enemy spawn, I heard what they are playing, and I said, okay, I heard mostly their entire team. I heard Kiriko, I heard the Soldier, I heard the Zenyatta spamming, I heard the Bastion spamming, so I knew there is no Widow. And I also heard the Sigma, I basically heard all 5 enemies, if I remember correctly. So I also knew, okay, there is no spear from Orisa, if there's a stone animation I can see it. I had my cooldowns and slide. And I start here the game early, and if you look at the ult charges, I'm quite ahead for that. But I gave a little bit of ult charge to then for healing, of course, and to Bastion, of course, for shooting as well. But I just decided to pressure early, and I continue to pressure here. I hear stuff coming up the stairs, so it's getting hot for me, because I wasn't sure what it is. I knew it wasn't Zen, because I heard footsteps. Hey. At least I think that's the reason why I disengaged there. It was already 3 relatively bad railguns, despite our goal. And so you see, good intentions really don't hold up if you get pressured. Like, the saying, no plans survives contact with the enemy. That's what happened here. I had a good intentions, but I went in and I needed to, they're shooting at my face. I need to do something. So I just shot in all directions. I have my railgun, I have my slide, so let's go for a flank. And I fail. And the thing is, what actually bothers me most is the height of it. Like, this is absolutely no... what? Not a headshot height, like this as well. This is not the correct crosshair placement. Like, I want to have my crosshair placement that is basically on head height all the time. And it was too low, I didn't shoot correctly, so it's... Can't still one against the Soldier because we both rolled out. Well, this was a very strange fight. So basically this fight was not correct, but it's also not too much to review, because I went in with the intention to play it not correct, and then I failed the execution basically. So not too interesting to watch here. Now it's regrouping phase. Let's get a little bit of this high ground. Spam a little bit. That's always a good thing to spam, because from this corner to this corner is roughly the perfect distance for you. Like a little bit further, it's like if you really want to hug the wall and go just tiny bit forward, but there was a Sigma, so I didn't want to do it. And then land right on this corner, and this is where many people like to peek, because they get the shooting lane here, so if there's a Hanzo, they peek, shoot, and you all forces them to go for the back. And then of course the angle acquisition and the acquisition is slower, because they are further away basically. So but yeah, that way I'd like this op, to spam, if you get the opportunity for it. Left clicks even through shields should be on high on head height. So really cross the placement. And really see our cross the placement got really atrociously bad. It was already better once. Okay, here kinda missed the disengage from my Sigma, I think. I was so focused on shooting forward. Because the enemy Sigma was so low and my Sigma is full HP and we have so many ults and my team just goes back. This really went unexpected and I really didn't react to it. That's a problem. Like my team really shouldn't have engaged or not disengaged for this one. Absolutely no reason to go back here, especially since when you have ult with Ramatra. Like just go and contest the payload. If like you have ult, just go. What are you doing, bro? But then of course my mistake here, what's more interesting is that, yeah, well, I did not react to it whatsoever. And I died to it. So the thing is, play corners more greedy. Like, look how much I'm peeking despite shooting at the Genji, right? So if you look at from here, what I'm shooting is this sideline, right? On this Genji. But the enemies can now shoot me from every enemy that's here in this mega room basically to every enemy that's inside here. So this is this entire angle is open, and additionally the high ground is also open. And the next point is then even then, look where my next cover is. Like if I draw a circle around me, well, I know it's a kind of an ugly circle, I know. But this is cover and this is cover. Look how far away I am from both cover pieces. Right? So this is really not good enough. This needs to be more precise. Okay? So instead of this, I want to shoot at the Genji. So Genji jumped in, so what should my reaction be? This here is a Genji. This guy up top. So you go for the most narrow sideline you can find and shoot him from here. And then you can play this corner if you are kind of like Tracer, Reaper, Junkrat, whatever, and you can play and you can play this corner back here if you're something like Ashe, Widow, Hanzo, you can play this back corner. It's all the same angle. But of course, if you are back here, again, you can kind of disengage more easy, right? So, but you see this distance, and it doesn't seem too much, but it's really a lot. Really be precise with such things. Like Zen does it perfectly here. Like be like this guy. Be like this guy. Don't be like this guy. Right? That's how you want to be. This button. Now, do I really need to peek so close? Yeah, actually, if I want to continue to shoot the Ramatra, actually I have to. The alternative actually would be, quite interestingly, I could have also got to here to shoot the Ramatra. Would have actually also been better. Yeah, but if it would have been an area narrower to the wall, like more precise with it, I would have seen better than my tank is gone, and I could, because you could shoot from here, right? But I shot from here, and this to here might be a small step, but that's enough that if they pre-fire this corner, yeah, they take damage to walk through. So basically, this position would have been better because you have access to the mini health spec, but your team might have trouble healing you. This position, okay, was play with the team. Okay, you can try. You expect your team to go in, they didn't. Unlucky. Go next. You can play this corner up here, which is interesting because you have the high ground, but if Genji dives you, you are alone. Because you need to drop right in front of the enemies to go there. And you can play this corner, that's kind of like really flanked. And this one, this is an interesting one. So the enemies can kind of disengage from you easily, but you get a sideline to all your entire team. So if someone dives you here, you can fight them quite efficiently. And what other corners do we have? Well, of course, you have this Mega Health Pack. But if they run inside, again, your tank is AFK, so they can just crush you. So this is a little bit awkward with this Ramatra, but in general would be okay. So if the payload is here, you would expect the tank to contest at some moment. But your tank will just be AFK until they push payload to this corner. So yeah, well, his decision. You can play up here, but again, high risk that you see too many enemies. Like even if you want to pick only one, you see the entire cast of them, and that's really a problem. Same goes for the other corner. And then even more greedy off angles, like yes, it's of course, well, you can bait them to come in and then try to slide out of something, but that's no regular play that you should do there. So where's my other DPS? Didn't actually notice that we were down one. Blah. Just got to randomly rest, so we die on payload. Fail my jump. So here, I try to play the corners very greedily, but the thing is, I'm playing here with my team and I already know that I will get no value from my team. Like my tank is dying, it cannot push and do anything, and I already knew from the previous fights that there's nothing happening. We're just looting Zara Amatra and the enemy team just wins. I knew that nothing's happening, so here I should really went for the off angle. 3 shot from here, try to get the soldier. Go right side, sorry. Go right side, shoot from here. Good angle to distract them, maybe get this attention of Kiriko, of Zenyatta, then they have no heal in the front. That's how you also pressure Ramatra. You can even go up here. And I had the free choice, and I choose to do nothing, and that is a big problem. So if you go back in time, if you look at this, I did second last fight, Soldier died first, but I did second. So right now, oh, I'm actually behind them. I don't know how this happened. Actually, I had no time to set up. I am confused. And by the way, if you are playing Edge or Hanzo, of course, you can also just always start contesting from here. You see there are no shields. You can just loot until your team engages. Then if you have some high ground control, you can go to here and get a few peek shots, clean shots from here, and then transition to this corner or to this corner or to high ground. So that's also a rotation I would kind of advise. I actually go high ground. But that's not quite the Sojourn range, so I want to get closer, and I hope my tank would get closer. Again, I expect my tank to get closer, but then he just didn't. Try to go for the off angle, but it failed because I failed to jump and I cannot cross here freely. Yeah, Ramatra, my tank really does the worst thing. Like, he stands here, wastes all his resources, and as soon as his resources are gone, then he starts walking forward without resources, and he jumps awkwardly around because he's basically dead. Yeah, that was very awkward. There is ults. My plan is just to die on payload because this fight was lost. So we just decided to go all in. Maybe something randomly happens that I get a rig on something, but nothing happened, so we just die. Yeah, so seeing this back, I really should have played solo angles harder than I did. Oh, that was nice.
Precision and control.
He didn't know what hit him.
This ends now.
Yeah. Okay, so here. We already know that staying with our team will not succeed. Right? We already know that we lost the previous fights. We already know that playing the sidelines that our team gives us. So basically, playing this regular sidelines, being positioned somewhere behind our team is not good enough. So this entire area, it's kind of nice. It's totally safe. You can work with your team. You get the damage boost. You get the shield from Ramatra, but it's not good enough. We tried that the previous fights. We lost. We need to adapt our game style. We saw that it didn't work. We need to adapt. We need to change. So what shall we do instead? Well, one thing what I did here, of course, with the aggressive jump was, of course, kind of correct. But now, I have my ult, I have all resources. So now, where should I ult is a big question. And now instead of fighting here safely behind my Ramatra that does nothing, and we lose this spam war against Zen, against Kiriko, against Sigma, these are all good spam characters. They can all spam. Like they have both their supports can spam shields, while my both supports cannot, basically. And also, yeah, we both have a soldier, and then the soldier and injury difference is just not good enough to make up for this Sigma Ramatra. So instead, I should go for an off angle and ult from here. Like as you can see, there is no easy disengage from them, and of course, Sigma is kind of defensive. But you can force him back with your ult because he can defend only in one direction, basically. So we have to remove his shield. And especially if you remove our pressure, then they would maybe even run further forward. So instead of ulting from here, where basically I get the same side as from behind my team, but I don't get the safety, so it's just I get only the downsides. Go for the harder flank and just go with your skill. Like you see, here would have been a Kiriko that you can kill. You can shoot her once, you put out. You shoot Genji, he jumps back. You shoot Sigma, he needs to disengage. And maybe you get an angle on Zenyatta or Soldier. Soldier is of course in spawn. But the thing is that usually you want to use your ult on these flanks when you can kill the first target. And the only target you can actually really kill fast is Zenyatta. Yeah, but we're ulting here in a 5 versus 4, so we really should push forward. But we just don't. So we still managed to hardcarry this, because for some reason the Genji got baited into going in with his ult, but that was of course totally pointless from him, like there was no need to. They were down 1, my team was falling back, we already used ult, so... For some reason my clap here didn't work.
Innovation at its finest. Railgun charge.
Yeah, these are all just basically cleanup fights. These are no real team fights. They keep kinda staggering into us randomly, and we use ult advantages and stuff.
So
now here we are on a hard flank, and this is I like a lot more for this type of gameplay. Yeah, my team managed to clean up because we distracted them in the back. I'm allowed to do this because I have my orb, that's perfect, but there was a kill because the way I ran back, but my soldier randomly cleans them up. Need really to learn to slide backwards. Now they have a Rhine, so I need to make more efforts to actually go around the shield. Here I get greedy and mad because I didn't get the kill on Zen. So this was a misplay to go in there because that's a one-way ticket to the unit. Even though I missed the kill on Zen, the Zen is forced back for a second and needs attention with the stacked heal, so which means this soldier was totally alone. So there was no need for me to go 2 versus 1. I could have just chosen a different target. So here, tunnel vision too hard, I got too greedy to finish my kill, and I'm the one with the ult. If you see top left, I'm the one with the ult. I should have carried this fight by first killing the Zen, of course, but I failed the mechanics, and then I went in 1-2 and suicided. And now my team suffers 4 versus 5, and the enemies have 3 ults, so this was our... So there is no coming back from this. I'm still dead. That was kind of unlucky. If you view it from my perspective, like, almost everything dead and gone, they should just die on payload and hope they can regroup and then go back to payload. But instead, everyone's dead, and now they ult. That's really unfortunate, because this was our only hope to get back onto the card. Because realistically, if we win our 2 team fights, we can hold this. But we would have needed the Ramator ult here. Okay. Okay. I cannot get my mouse back. I don't know where my mouse is.
Initiating match.
You see there's some mouse, but like, oh, thanks Blizzard. Oh, come on. How can you have so many bugs? Now I have a mouse. Okay, awesome. So the Widow is not serious. I just do a few shots in the beginning for no reason. No, this is where it begins. Okay.
All of us. Not so fast.
Off the corner, that's good. Go left. Because it's right, so we need to find an off angle. We try to not peek the Bastion while ulting. Try to force them to deal with the off angle. Because there's no way I push to front, right? There's just no way. We need to disengage because Bastion has had his turret form, so we go back in again. And I really need to transition to find now a better angle again. So again, we are here, but we are not doing anything right now. We really should try to get our slide to up here, to get up here. We are missing cooldowns, missing HP. But then it worked out. So pressure here this shrine actually worked out. And why? Because now my team is more of spam comp than the enemy team. I think mostly because Bastion doesn't have a real shield to break from my Ramatra. And so kind of we can just wait out his cooldown and then go in. I'm actually really not entirely sure why. But they also switched the Zen to our Moira, so the Moira is also not spamming too hard. And now our damage boost actually out pressures the Moira basically. And now together with Nano, if we Nano and sleep correctly, then we can spam them out, and that's what happened here. So we broke them. So now we need to switch from, again, playing with our team, because apparently that works now. And here I was kind of sad, because I pressured them for so long, and all this time Ramatra is just fully AFK. Like, are you serious, bro? Oh, come on. And in the end we actually nearly get away. But such things make me kind of sad. I really don't want to fix this. Like, there is no excuse for my team to really be that type of AFK.
Feeling better. This ends now.
Kinda didn't see the soldier there. And here we went for solo actions where it really was not needed anymore.
We're outnumbered. Watch yourself. Breaking them down.
Because we could have won this just by pressuring the tank. Like this.
what I was looking for. Nice work, team. Keep it moving.
Somehow I failed to notice the Sojourn on the stairs.
Nothing a quick repair won't fix.
I like how Moira first with the pack got scared and said, "Oh no, I have my ult running. Let's go back to him." Okay. Was there anything wrong here specifically? I don't think so. It's kinda. If you go for such things, you need to play better, basically.
Stay down.
It's really hard to get a clean topic on this one. But in the end, our many decisions when we go for flanks and when we go for safe plays was twisted. Like when we had this Ramatra team where we got outspammed, I went for playing with the team. And now when we play against Reinhardt, which I can just pressure the shield, we probably win with spam comp. I go for such things. The thing is, Ryan can actually survive on his own quite a lot. So even if I distract this Gantry and the Kiriko, this enemy Ryan can just survive longer than I can.
Might have to adjust my approach.
I am
Heroes never die.
That's how repos work. I kinda think this is BS, honestly. I don't like the state of the game that such things happen. Like, we notice him, we slide out, but there is just nothing you can do. You just, I don't know, man.
I'm not a fan of
Like, of course, in this case, I could have known earlier that he would drop and stuff, but that's not always the case. And then kind of feels stupid to just lose against it. Because it would be like a Junkrat wheel without sound. Like, yeah, come on. Yeah, here I really should have stopped going for solo flanks. Especially now that they have a Roadhog.
You're falling apart. 60 seconds remaining. This ends now. Cybernetics ready. Breaking them down.
Yeah, see, every time I worked with a team, it went out well. And every time I do solo actions, it went poorly. Against the team comp. Again, this is really team comp dependent.
Think I'd ever let you down?
I mean, we even have the ult advantage, basically. So basically, this looks close to an unlosable game. We have Sojourn ult, we have Ramatra ult, we have Mercy ult.
Nothing a quick repair won't fix.
We have the enemies under pressure.
I'm just getting
We have
started.
spam advantage, gets win with random kills, they can't contest whatsoever. You see, I can always just fall back to my team, easy. I win like this. The only thing that roughly now we really would have like this high ground.
Ends now.
Killed the Reaper with the ult. Yeah, this should have been really unlosable for me at this point. But then they just respawn and Beyblade us to this. Okay. And that's how we lose. GG. Yeah, so really, I think the biggest thing here was that my when to play with team, when to play with on solo flanks was totally messed up. Like it was completely inversed. And again, why? Because at the beginning, the enemies had a real spam comp. Like the Sigma, the Nyata, Kiriko, or Baptiste is also one that can spam very well. Yeah, Soldier can also shoot shields. Like high DPS output if you counted the reloads, really, really high up there. And we had Ramatra, which is a little bit weaker than Sigma in spamming, because Ramatra, as a tempo tank, needs to change his tempo to get full value of all his kit. We had Anna Mercy, which both cannot shoot shields, basically. Yeah. So we really had no spam potential in the beginning, but we had kind of DPS that work well with offense, like Soldier, like Mercy, like the anti-nade you shoot around the shield, like all good tactics for off angles. And then but then I played with team and we lost, of course. But then in the second half, the enemies had a Rhine. And but we had the spam comp. So they switched to Moira, which cannot damage shields, basically. Like Reaper, which from long range cannot damage them. Like it could have, but Reaper is very strong on solo flanks, right? If you run to a Reaper on solo flank, you fall dead. But I went for solo flanks and I totally lost, basically, for that. So I really should press tab and understand better when to play for solo flanks. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And see you next time. Bye bye.